Good morning, everybody. Just want to let you know I am going to turn recording on. So you will be live, and we are currently live on YouTube as well. Good morning, everybody. Just want to let you know I am going to turn recording on.
Okay, I'm going to do an audio check. Can you hear me? Can somebody speak? Let me see if I can hear.
We hear you.
Hello, hello.
Also, I'm going to have to unplug these headphones. Okay, how are we all doing today? Good to see you, Caston. Good to see you, Brian Moreno Alvarez as well. So why don't we give it a few more minutes? I know when we were talking last week, we speculated that it might be a low turnout as we're heading down the home stretch towards finals and graduation. So
perfect. And I see Dr. Colson decided to copy my fit today. So I see you, Dr. Colson.
Good, good. Thank you very much. You know what? You know, I'll tell you, Brian, between our matching shoes yesterday and our matching shirts today, you know, we've got some telepathy going on here or something.
So what kind of shoes did you have on yesterday?
Well, Roger, let me just say that Brian's got excellent taste. Both of us were sporting the latest Vans, and we had matching stripes and matching colors and everything. I mean, we were right in style, weren't we, Brian?
Definitely.
That is great. I love to hear that. It's fun.
So Brian, you do know there are a couple of sites that you could, if those shoes are still in good shape and you want to get rid of them now, you could go ahead and sell them. You know.
I don't know. I really like them.
What color Vans were they, John?
They were black with these nice, very accented white stripes. You know, long, bright white laces. I've had a good experience with them. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, definitely. Vans are kind of my favorite. I used to wear Converse a lot before, but I switched it over to Vans. Yes. And ever since then, they're just super comfortable. I love how they look. And yeah, I really do love. I enjoy wearing Vans.
Right, and I see we have Brandon Moore with us, and I'll tell you now, he's a fan of Crocs. But I won't get into too much of that. We've heard a lot about Crocs, you know, but in the spirit of full disclosure, I must say that.
Yes, at the staff town hall that we did, or the brown bag, Brandon actually did about a 5-minute infomercial on Crocs.
Wow.
Brandon's raising his hand, really? That's never happened before. We'll give it like another minute. I don't see too many additional students on here, so this might be kind of a quick day because everybody's focused on getting to the finish line of the term, but it's certainly something to celebrate. As we talked about the other day, Brian and Caston, it's so surreal this year, but I think we're speeding not just to the end, but hopefully to a return to some semblance of normal with on campus, on ground stuff. Well, why don't we kick it off? And I know we've got an update on graduation in a minute, but from Dr. Colson. So Brian, you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Schultz. And I'll go ahead and just start with an overview of SGA right now, and then I'll pass it on to Cass in just a bit. And sorry, I apologize, my little sister. Sorry, I'm taking care of her right now, so I apologize. All right, so since our last Board of Trustee meeting, as I mentioned, in April, SGA has been actively working continuously on the clock for our students, especially as we end the end of the spring semester. In an effort to really support our graduates in the class of 2021, SGA has voted and officially approved 800 cap and gowns for our 2021 graduates, so that they can take part in the drive-through celebration taking place on May 27th. And I know Dr. Colson will go more into it, but we just want to say, or I want to express my gratitude and thank you to SGA for really supporting our class. And students, you are able to pick up your graduation regalia at the bookstore at San Antonio campus and Manatee Valley campus. You are only able to pick up the cap and gown that is provided. If you would like to, get tassels or stashes or anything decorative, that is completely separate. But we highly encourage you to get your cap and gown today and sign up for the drive-through celebration as well. All you need is just a valid ID and just make sure that you are approved for graduation and you are all set to go. These are on a first come, first serve. So if we happen to have more than 800 graduates come and participate in the drive-through ceremony, you will have to pay the $43, I believe, for the cap and gown. But please, I encourage you all to highly go to the bookstore and get your cap and gowns today. Also, just SGA applications, they are open, and the deadline has been extended until 5 p.m. on April 28th. We are doing elections from May 10th through the 13th, and we hope to have the results out on Monday, May 17th. And I hope to notify everyone of our next SGA president and our student trustee in our next Board of Trustee meeting in May. So I highly encourage you all to participate. And if you are interested in serving in student government, please, I highly encourage you all to apply today. Also, just want to talk about our Land Acknowledgement Pledge. SGA voted to adopt the Land Acknowledgement Pledge. And this is to be placed on our SGA agendas beginning from March 26th and on indefinitely. And the purpose of this acknowledgement pledge is really just to acknowledge the Native American nations and tribes whose land we live, learn, and definitely work on. And we want all groups of people to feel comfortable, respected, and treated fairly, especially by those who we're really advocating for as well. So this pledge is just a beginning framework in SGA to really just build a better student learning environment. And we definitely want to make sure that we are there for our students 100%. And in the last few weeks, we've also hosted just a variety of events, whether it was our Super Smash Bros. Tournament, which was on April 9th, and other events that are coming up from our ICC recognition ceremony to our SJ ceremony, to the Eagles 4.0 recognition ceremony as well. SLDP is really on it, and we look forward, SJ really looks forward to being there and supporting our students as well. And we also are celebrating our last SJ meeting, and that will be on May 7th, 2021. And that is our last legislative meeting for the semester. Lastly, just want to give a shout out to the first year experience. Students, if you know any individuals who are first-time students or are previous dual or concurrent enrollment students who took courses at MSJC, they are currently doing workshops so that they can help you with the FYE program and the application assistance, so you're able to meet your program coordinator, meet the FYE counselors, and meet the FYE mentor specialists and student mentors. You do have to register, and the links are available on the calendar of events on the MSJC website, but also tune into the Instagram page, which I believe is _MSJC FYE Eagles. So check that out and sign up today if you are interested in participating in first year experience. And lastly, as we are in the midst of transfer season and transfer admissions, for our transfer students, the Talon would love to see your college acceptance reactions. So all you have to do is just tag at MSJC Talon in a photo or a video on Instagram showing where you got accepted to, and they will definitely share it in their stories. And they also want to have a compilation of just those reactions at the end of the semester. So I highly encourage, if you have been accepted to a university or a college or any program at all, send your submission to the Talon, and they would really love to have you there and really share your enthusiasm and your excitement in your next path. But overall, that does it for me on SJ and my end. Kathleen, I'll go ahead and turn it to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Can you guys hear me okay? I got a new headset. And okay, cool. Thanks everyone for being so enthusiastic. So I really wanted to do something a little less normal than what we normally do, but that's okay. It's the end of the semester, and I feel as a student trustee, it's important for me to hear from the students. And so I have a couple questions for you students who are mutual students who are tuning in, and I'd love to just hear some things. And feel free to unmute yourself if you want, or just put in the chat or anything. I just have a couple questions. How are you? My first question is, how are you adjusting in this online environment? I just think it's important for everyone to know like how the students are doing, and if anyone wants to unmute themselves and just let us know how it's going right now, just feel free to.
So hi, I'm a student. The online environment right now is something to get used to. Obviously, it's something new for all of us, but I think that the way things are going right now, it's not too bad. I think it could be worse, but it's good as it is right now.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I want to say to everyone is that if you go on your Canvas and go to, let me make sure I'm getting it correctly, go to the little help button, you can go to get tutor help, and there will be tutoring from the LRC there. So if anyone needs help or just anyone to talk to from the LRC, you can definitely always go there. Where I know some people who work in the LRC, and everyone is so willing to help. So that's one thing that I really love about MSJC is that the LRC is so helpful. And so I'll get to my last questions after we talk, but my last question now, because the other question is regarding graduation, so I'll wait until we get that update. But does anyone have any general questions about MSJC, or if anyone has anything they just are curious about, we'd be willing to answer that.
Yes, and I do see Yesenia's comment in the chat as well. She says, I love the online environment as it is easier for me as being a parent and being home. And I totally understand. I've had 2 students email me actually. I won't call out their names, but they have emailed me just to let me know regarding their online preference. You know, this pandemic has really altered the way we learn. And they really enjoy those online courses, and they're afraid that once our campuses do reopen, that those online classes will be minimized. And I just want to make sure I'll just let the word out there that these online courses are not going anywhere, and that I think they'll play a bigger importance in the future more than ever before. And I believe Dr. Brown can also elaborate on that as well. But I do want to mention that these online courses, for me at least, it has been a little hard. It's not the same, obviously, as a face-to-face environment, but it's offered me more flexibility in terms of, when I can schedule my homework, my exams, and when I can work around my work schedule as well, being a working student. And I can imagine being a parent or simply, taking care of your siblings. It's definitely another a benefit of just having those online courses.
Well, and maybe right now we should throw it over to Dr. Brown, kind of give his update now, because to reassure students that we've been listening, and we're going to be responsive to what students are needing. So Dr. Brown?
Right, exactly. So yeah, we're building the schedule for fall right now, and none of us see the college emerging from this pandemic without holding on to online gains that we've had, right? I think we'll come out of this more of an online school than we were before it. We always offered a significant amount of online sections, but we'll be planning to hold on to more of those. On the same token, we've heard from students in particular classes, specifically lab classes and some of the career ed areas and performing arts and some others, that some of those courses are just more easy to deal with and more appropriately delivered in a face-to-face environment. So some of those will be coming back on campus, and we're the schedule that we're building right now will have a significant amount of both face-to-face and fully online. We'll also be holding on to the hybrids that we have, where you come on campus for part of your course and you do part of your work online. So I think we've learned a lot from having to become an online college during this time, and students have learned, faculty have learned, we all have, and I think we'll come out of this really with a good helping of whatever is needed. Rebecca mentioned in the chat that a survey did go out to students to get their online preferences, and just as she and I connected yesterday, I know what we've been hearing from students is that they want a mix, right? Students want some things on campus, students want other things online, and that's what we'll be providing. And we always react to student demand as we build schedules and make changes to schedules. So as we see students enrolling over the summer, we'll be able to make adjustments on the fly as well to meet those needs.
Perfect. And Caston, I'm not sure if you want to go to our last question, or if any other students that are on the call as well, if you'd like to type anything, any questions at all. This is definitely your time to shine, and we would love any questions at all. But I'm not sure if Caston, you want to go to the next question as well.
Yeah, we can go to that question. So my last question is, does anyone have any questions regarding graduation? As we have everyone here, I feel like it's important we can talk about it and answer any questions. So if anyone has any questions, we'd be happy to answer. And if not, that's totally okay.
Maybe everybody is just waiting for Dr. Colson's just spectacular update on graduation. Should we throw it to him right now, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Dr. Schultz and Caston and all the students here with us today. I just want to, first of all, let me thank quite a few students that came out yesterday to assist us as actors for our video of the instructional process for the drive-through. And, let me just publicly thank Brian Marino, Sophia Quintero, Nicholas Singh, James Parker, J. Ron Anderson, and Natalie Orndorff. All of you folks expressed great patience yesterday, as it was pretty much a day-long effort with our production company, but we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much for your patience and helping us put that video together. Just also, I did drop in the chat information and links to our website for graduation for both the class of 2021, which we'll talk about in a minute, and also not to forget the class of 2020. Just so you know, we've had for the class of 2020 in the drive-through, we've already had 128 sign up for that, and that'll be on May the 26th. And that again is the class of 2020. And for this graduating class, we're celebrating 421 have already signed up for the drive-through for May the 27th. So we're looking forward to that. Also in the chat at our graduation webpage, you will find all the information you need. And we are highly encouraging folks to go ahead and RSVP if you haven't already. Submit a slide, a photo is preferable, but please do participate in the virtual ceremony. I got word from Enrollment Services yesterday that we're tracking at over 2,000 graduates for 2021. So it's amazing. We've already got all of our speakers lined up, and their recording sessions are being scheduled, as we speak. So just to go through the events of the 27th one more time, all of the pre-recorded information, the graduate slides, all of that will look just like it did last year. And we will release that video at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 27th. And it'll be all inclusive. That will actually be the official conferral of degrees that Dr. Brown officiates. And we'll have wonderful opening remarks by Dr. Schultz. And, you know, we will go through and listen to our student speaker, pledge, national anthem. All of that will be released at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 27th. And for those that have already RSVP'd, we are celebrating the commencement with a drive-through. Students will have an opportunity beginning at 12 noon on the 27th for the class of 2021 to come to the Menifee Valley campus. And you'll have scheduled times, and that's hence the RSVP. And we will bring students through in increments of 15 minutes each, starting at noon through ever how long it takes, according to how many participate. Students will have the opportunity to walk across the stage, and in keeping social distance protocols, families and friends must stay in the car. Photographs will be permitted from the car as students are walking across the stage. Students will be able to pick up a diploma cover. And as we always try to let folks know, diplomas will be mailed in the middle of July, but the cover can be available for those who walk through. Once they leave the platform, we're asking students to get back in the car and then proceed around. They can either exit at that point or they can participate in a tassel turn. And we will have scheduled tassel turners that will lead all the students that want to participate in a tassel turn, probably in groups of anywhere from 5 to 10, again, standing outside their cars. And of course, the student graduate would need to be a passenger in the car. They can't be a driver. But at that point, students can actually have their regalia on that SGA so graciously provided, and they can turn their tassel. And again, if they want to exit, they can exit at that point, or they can drive on around and come to Grad Image's site where they will be able to have a very nice photograph taken. And so that's available to them. And then, of course, finally, and we don't want to forget the Student Government Association, your Student Government Association will have a setup as well, where we'll have goodie bags and other things that we'll be giving away. And I failed to mention that upon entry, one of the first stops will be Phi Theta Kappa, and leis will be available. Now, these leis need to be pre-ordered. All that information is on our graduation webpage. They're $15 if you pre-order them. The students that get those can simply pull up to the table and just announce their name, and the lei will be waiting for you. And, you know, the supply is limited. If someone wants to purchase them the day of, then it'll be $20, and they need to have cash only for that. So that's the rundown, and I will pause if anyone's got any questions. Okay. Let me also I'll put my email address and Ms. Paez Mendez's email address in the chat, so you can always follow up with us later. Feel free to take the email and send it around to friends or anybody you know that might be asking questions. We also plan to have 2 live Facebook streams that will be coming later in May, where students, you know, as they start thinking about it, because we know right now everybody needs to be preparing for finals, but these Facebook streams will be helpful for just-in-time information as we get close. So we're looking forward to hosting those as well. All right, thank you, Brian and Dr. Schultz.
All right, thank you, John. Good update. Looking forward to it. It's rapidly getting close to that date, so make sure you take care of all that to be sure you can fully participate and be recognized. Brian, I guess back to you before I turn it over to the cabinet team to see if there's anything else to add, but I think John was our big featured speaker today.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I have anything else to add other than students just keep on the lookout with your student email. I know for those that are looking for registering for the summer term, those summer registration appointments have been released. And if you want to check your appointment day, please go ahead and log into your student email, and you should see those appointments emailed to you. And we are rapidly approaching the end of the semester. So students, just once again, as Catherine mentioned, if you need help, please use the tutoring that's available. That is completely free. That's offered by the LRC. If anything, if there are any questions, any concerns that you all see, please feel free to reach out to me as well. And I'll put my email in the chat as well. And that is balvarez906@student.msjc.edu. And I'll send it back to Dr. Schultz.
All right, thank you, Brian. Jeremy has already touched on instruction and what to look forward to coming up. Do we have any other updates, really? Rebecca, anything at all that you can think of? Because we're just kind of winding down on all fronts. So, Rebecca?
So, good afternoon, everybody, or morning, whatever it might be. So, right now, we have distributed another round of the student emergency aid, and then we will be also doing another disbursement of our Promise program funding, and that is for first-time full-time students that are in their second year. So if you were in our Promise program and you've met our eligibility requirements, we expect you to be receiving an award for your Promise program fund within the next few weeks. So definitely check in and see if that's there. If you know of folks that are interested in MSJC, we'd kindly ask you to let them know about the first year experience program, about the Promise program. Again, if you can be a first-time full-time student, you are eligible for those funds. And we do have funding available starting in the fall semester for the next round of that. But we are working on all of the student emergency aid at this point in time and creating strategies for eligibility purposes for the summer term and for the fall. So you should expect to see that before the term starts. And so we would just encourage you to keep checking the website for updates regarding those funds. And we will be sure to communicate that out through SGA and some other channels on social media. But we wish you all a great end of your semester. Happy studying and happy graduation to those that are graduating and perhaps even transferring. We're excited for you.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. So I know we don't want to have a demonstration of the wonderful elements of Crocs. So Brandon, I don't think you have anything to share, right? All right, well, I'm going to keep looking to see if there are any questions. I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit, but I hope you all, I know some of you are student workers, by design, Brandon. Anyway, anyway, they're saying you should be able to unmute, Brandon, but now, today, I know some of you are student workers and you're in various capacities, and although we're primarily in a virtual environment, today is Administrative Professionals Day, and if you see somebody that supports the mission of your organization, whether it's the college or where you work, acknowledge them for contributing so critically, because in these times it is tough and there's not a lot of recognition like we do with graduation and end of year things. And again, everybody plays such a critical role in making our college, our organizations, our businesses, and out there, just again, acknowledge people and appreciate them for the work that they do to make all of our lives a little better. All right, I'm looking.
There's a whole discussion about the best footwear.
So we'll be setting up a separate town hall to discuss the most appropriate footwear for graduation, weddings, and other special events, hosted by Brian Moreno and John Colson. But that'll be at a future date, and we'll be sure to get that information out to you. Well, if there's nothing else, I personally like Nike, but anyway, Anyway, again, I think, Brian, I know next month we're going to do something a little different with the town hall, because I know we don't have a lot of people on here today. I think people are just saturated with the amount of information out there, the work that you're doing to bring it home to the end of the semester. And I think we're going to try and do something really upbeat and focusing on the achievements and overcoming the challenges over this last year and celebrating your success as students and us as a college, for that matter, because we live vicariously through you and are just so we're empowered by watching you all succeed. So we're looking forward to that great graduation ceremony. With that, we'll see you next month. But as Caston said, if you have any questions, email Caston and Brian, because we do, even outside of these meetings, these student town halls, we do communicate with SGA and the student trustee regularly, and they are your voice. And so, as I say, we can't fix what we don't know is broken. And every time they brought us something, it's usually something that we can tackle head on. So thank you all for your time today, and have a great rest of your week. And again, remember those administrative professionals out there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great one.